fifth wave up through here. So at the moment we have wave 1 over here, an A wave, a B wave in 3, and a C wave in 5. So we're looking now at this ABC correction here. The wave 4 normally pulls back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which is here, and that would roughly also be the 38.2 retracement level of wave 3. So that's what we'd be looking at there. Now, normally there's some equality between wave A and wave C here, but I always find it more important to count the actual structure. So if you've got a bit of a keen eye here, you can see that there's actually 5 waves here. So if there's 5 waves in the opposite direction, opposite because we've been moving up here, if we get 5 waves in the opposite direction coming down, then we can expect an A and a B and a C wave pulling back up, well, to the 61.8%, but more importantly, we look at where the supply is over here. So all that volume turned over in here, that price action here is where the most volume is turned over. And anybody that was long at that stage and has carried loss, they like to get out here. So that pegs them back at break even there. It's just psychology. Wave A here is in 5 waves, so we can expect wave C to be in 5 waves as well. So we can count down for 1 here, back for 2 here, down for 3 here. So wave 4 is underway, and then we'll get wave 5. So perhaps we don't see it come down too far at all, maybe just to the wave A here at that point. Okay, so if you're going to trade US spot gold here, trading it down to here, and if you can, note 5 waves moving up through to here, allow that to play out, and then breaking any high through here would be the long trade. But building on 1200, 1210, 1220, and of course 1230 as well. Now 1230 is part of group 1, and group 2 up here is 1272 and 1265. It's like a little group there. Now just place that in there with the correct coloring there. Now, so the idea when trading from 1200 to 1300 is that we build in on tested support on 1200, 1210, 1220 and 1230. If support is found on 1230, the top of group 1, what happens is that it separates the order flow from 1200 here. So that means that when support is actually established, tested support is established on number 3 here, the top of group 1, then the psychology of the market, people start looking to the next strongest number, and the second strongest number in the market apart from number 1 is 5. So the midpoint here is where we'd be going to from that point. There will be a correction at the midpoint as always, but in this case here we should see it arrive, react, first high above the level, then a 3-wave correction, then support, then you can even look to add again at that particular point. The idea about group 1 is to build into the trade, and once you're sitting on top of group 1 as support, you don't do anything. You can take all the money off the table at 50 if you want, or you can do nothing and allow it to correct and do its thing there and establish itself from resistance to support and then build back in, or do it in part, take 50%, build back in, all these sorts of things. But that's what we're looking for, and we're also looking for this in stock. Now I'm going to the trading levels charting program here, and we're going to look at this stock here. Now this stock here is ABX, Barrick Gold, one of the larger companies. And if I just squash all this, and I don't have this labeled on this particular program here, but basically we're looking for, looking for an A wave, a B wave, and 5 waves in this whole section down here. You can see that this is a strong 3rd wave in here, the 4th wave here, and if you've got a keen eye, you can see wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 coming down here. There'll also be 5 in the last one here. I'm not getting into that at the moment. What we're more interested in here at the moment, and this is pretty much the pattern for many gold stocks. Some are slightly different, and that's why I'm going to be looking at some different ones, but generally when you're looking at gold stocks across the world, they'll be looking at this pattern here. So we noted 5 waves up for wave 1, so we got 5 waves in the opposite direction, so we're going to see another 5 waves, which we have got nice strong 3rd wave here. So the 4th wave would pull back 38.2% of the third wave here. So I'm going to take that to 13 here, because 13 is a major trading level here. So it's possible for this market to pull back into this section here, right, as a wave 4. Also, wave 4 tends to pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. So there may be another little high above the 13 here, and if that's the case, then we'll need to lift this up. In this case here, we will be looking for, once that's done, we'll be looking for 5 waves up. In this case here, we could look at 15, which is a medium level up here, for wave 5 here. Now, when I said here that we had a little tiny 5-wave structure here, so because we've got 5 waves in the opposite direction of the downtrend here, that means we'll get another 5. And in this 5 here, it's really extended, so it's definitely a wave 3. And then the wave 4 and wave 5. Now, the same thing applies as well. It's all about degrees of fractal. Now, this situation here, we've also got 5 waves up here, as noted, coming up through here. Okay, so after 5 waves here, we will be looking at a 3-wave correction. The 3-wave correction will be 50 or 60% in there, but it's more important to track this 5-wave structure here, okay? But once this 5 waves is complete, we'll get an A and a B and a C, and then we're going to get another 5 waves up, okay? So we'll get another 5 waves up, roughly the same size as this 5 waves here, coming over here. So there's trading opportunities in terms of trading this 5th wave up on US spot gold, and in a lot of cases, all the different stocks, some are the same, some are in front, some are leading, some are following, and so on. But here, in terms, because normally when you see a trend like this, you say, oh, that's what I want, I want some of that, I'll buy some of that, and then you get caught in the correction. You always get the opposite of what you're actually looking at. When that penny drops, then you will start to look for corrections as the main setup here. But wave 5 is a trading opportunity, and for the short CFD traders, obviously this is here too, and we'll look at that and we'll play that out. But it is this trend here that we're looking for in stock. Now I'm going to go and have a look at Newcrest now, Australian stock, and you'll note too that it's also the same. It's slightly different from this, but it's still the pattern that we're looking for is up for 1, back for 2, up for 3, and it's in wave 4 already. Okay, so this is Newcrest. This is a daily chart, NCM. We're currently long in this market, and we're going to stay long. I made the decision not to take the money off the table at the medium level 1650. I thought it would be easier if we just hold through it. There was not a problem with the wave count, and we're certainly looking quite good at this stage with this. And we've got wave 1 here, A, B and C for wave 2 here, and then if you've got a keen eye, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the 3rd wave. The 4th wave here pulling back 38.2%. I could see that that's pulled back further than 38.2%, so we could pretty safely pop that wave 4 under there. Now, even though that wave 4s tend to be sideways and complex here, I think in this case wave 2 was actually the complex one. Wave 4 may be simple at this point. It also pulled back to 15 here, which is a medium level. I won't put the levels on the chart at the moment because we just want to focus on the wave count here. But what we're looking for here is we're looking for higher ground into the 18 or maybe even 20. Depends on how US spot gold travels and US dollar and a few other sorts of things. But essentially we're looking for 5 waves up through here, even though the wave 4 could get a bit more complicated. But look, that's just part of the roller coaster process, and we'll need to wait that out. But we could get lucky and move straight on up from here. But as I mentioned, the 38.2 retracement level from wave 2 here. Let me just bring the right charting program tools on here. So from here to here, we can see that it's actually moved down 50%. Gold does that. It seems to sort of like the 50% retracement level, but Anyway, it's past the 38.2, so we shouldn't see it come any lower than this. It should stay above 15. We've got our stops well out of the way here, and we're just going, we're just riding it out, because sometimes it's easier to stay in rather than trying to get back in and all the rest of it. So, yeah, that's perfect. We're going to have a look at a little stock now called EVN that we're also tracking. Okay, for this stock here, I haven't labelled it. It's a daily chart. It's EVN gold stock, and it will have the same pattern, very much the same as Newcrest as well. So first of all here, we can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here over a long period of time. So it was moving much before Barrick Gold and US Spot Gold, okay? So we've got 5 waves up here, then a correction here. So we could look at this being wave 1 and 2 here. Now, this becomes sort of interesting at this point because we've also got basically wave 1 coming up here as well, and wave 2 and wave 3. So if I can just lay this out a little bit differently here, let's look at this in terms of, we'll start from this point here. We can start with 5, well, that goes up there, that comes back down here, that goes about there. So really from this point here we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're looking for 5 up there. So that will give us 5 waves up into that little structure. And what that does though, that gives us 5 waves there. We've also got this little 5 wave structure here as well. So in a bit of a nutshell, we've got, can I expand that out from there? No. So I need to grab another one. Basically what we've got here now is we've got this situation. So it's a little bit tricky, but we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up through to here, and then we'll have this structure to come into play here. But that's not the end of it at that point there either. So there's more to go within this. This is still unwinding to the upside. If we have a look at SBM, which is a St. Barbara, which is a sort of a smaller stock as well, and just bringing all this in here as well. So right from the bottom here, so it's been moving up for quite some time here. So this is nothing new to a lot of people. However, in this particular case here, we've got from the low here, if you've got a keen eye, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got the whole third wave here, okay? So we've got the third wave here, this will be the fourth wave, and then we've got this moving up higher here. So we've also got wave 1 and 2 here, and then this is still building to the upside here as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, A, B, C for 2. So we're going to see this market climb higher as well. So in this particular instance here, if we put the levels on the chart here, we know that 150 is the medium level, 180 is a minor level, so profit taking number. It's the first whole number before the next, first even number before the next whole number here. And people tend to think of 8 more than 9 in terms of taking profit. That said, this market will continue higher. It will move from being resistance here to support over here, and then it's going to go through the same process over here on this level here as well as $2. So we're going to have the arrival, the reaction. It's going to be resistance and then support, and then we can look to add on that support there. So look, there's just a few little gold stocks that are all doing slightly different things, but they're all based off US spot gold, having their US spot gold here again moving up. So I think that if you're on our service, track this corrective pattern here in terms of the A, the B, and 5 waves for the C wave here, and then we can start buying in here and also buying gold stocks. And for this market, we'll be trading up to the 1300. And the thing moving up here is what we want to track up here is a 5 wave structure coming into this space here. Once that's completed there, we'll be taking profit on gold stocks. So even though you may not trade spot gold with such a high leverage, it would certainly be important to understand where we are in this count moving up here, because it will be where we'll be using this to take profit on gold stocks, which we have in the UK, the US and Australia in our CFD equity markets. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.